Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
Tis a Feedback Friday here on Purple Daily, daily Vikings entertainment. If you enjoy the other podcasts or teams, Minnesota sports teams, we have 5 total YouTube channels right now. We should shout these out because Flagrant Howls is about to hit 5,000 subscribers. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up. Just love Flagrant Howls. The Score North Twin Show is another YouTube channel we have. We've got the Score North channel where you can find Mackie and Judd, Judd's Hockey Show, Royce Unchained, etc. And then the O-Line Committee, which is Alex Boone, Jeremiah Searles, friends of Purple Daily, and myself talking NFL, offensive line lifestyle things. So check those out. Click that like button, subscribe button on all of those to help support us. We appreciate you. And Quick Trip is where we're going to start our little Feedback Friday journey here today, Judd.
Yes, and let's talk about the opportunity not only to get what you need at Quick Trip, but to win a Quick Trip with their Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Because now through August 17th, play each day for free in the Quick Rewards app and score bonus plays with every eligible item that you grab. That includes things like Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Gatorade, Propel, Sparkling Bubbler, Starbucks, and on and on. Grab one of those with hot food and earn 2 bonus plays every week. Someone's going to cash in. Each week the prize climbs by $5,000. And the one player who reaches the top will win $250,000 cash. Open your Quick Rewards app and get climbing for the chance to win with Quick Trip and Mountain Dew. No purchase necessary. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
All right. Let's start with JT Muraski here, who says, I have a question about franchise quarterbacks. Is there a quantifiable way to define when someone is a franchise quarterback? I feel like it's one of those, I can't describe it, but you know it when you see it types of things. Doesn't there need to be a way to quantify it? Like, we know Fran Tarkenton was a franchise quarterback, but since I started watching football when I was 11 during the 1998 season, I can't think of anyone who I'd say I know is that guy for the Vikings. Culpepper could have been, but injuries derailed that. Love the show. Keep up the good work. Probably more of a question for Sports Dad and his historical knowledge base here.
Well, first of all, he's exactly right. Like, Culpepper had the best chance. And I think there was a time, definitely through 2004, he was tracking to be, as a first-round pick, a franchise QB for the Vikings. Unfortunately, injury and contract situation blew that up. But I don't think there's a way, I don't think that you have to quantify it statistically. I think that it's like an ace in baseball. Like, everybody has a number one starting pitcher for the most part, right? But we know a true ace. And I think quarterbacks are the exact same way. Like, everyone has to have a starting quarterback, but there's a very small group that you would call franchise QBs. And yes, it's justified statistically, but it's also justified through the eye test, how much they win as far as the games, as far as the playoffs go. So I don't know that there has to be like some black and white rule about it. I think that there's a lot of things that quantify it. And if we were to quickly do a list of current franchise quarterbacks, I don't think it would be hard where we would be on the borderline of, I don't know about this guy. I think it's very clear what a franchise quarterback is.
I'm glad you suggested that exercise because I think we should do that.
Let's do it.
I think we should. I'm just going to throw some names out,
and
you tell me, are they a franchise quarterback or not, and why? Or if not, for sure, why are they not? So Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
Franchise quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Joe Burrow.
Yes.
Yep.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
I don't think he is a franchise quarterback.
See,
I think
this-
he's
I
a
tell you,
very
this is
good
hard.
quarterback. I think he's a very good QB. But I mean, I could be swayed. I don't think he's a franchise.
Why not?
QB. Because I think that he is part of a system that works really well. But like, if here's my definition personally, and we can work backwards from this, okay?
This is muddy.
If I had to win a game up until Jalen Hurts, every name that you just said, I would pick that quarterback because I feel that guy could win me the game. I know that Hurts won a Super Bowl, but every Super Bowl winning quarterback is not a franchise quarterback.
Does that mean that there's okay? I'll throw some other names out because I don't know what I guess how I would define. Let me take the word franchise out of it. Okay. I think there are different tiers if you want to use Declan's exercise.
S tier.
There's S tier. There's A tier, but there's like blank check tier, and the first four guys I mentioned would be under that category for me, which is in a salary cap league. I will pay those four guys, I mean, reasonably, but like pretty much whatever they want and figure out the rest of the roster. And if there's little holes and deficiencies, as there have been for Patrick Mahomes over the years and Josh Allen, they are good enough quarterbacks to make up for the roster deficiencies in a salary cap league to still compete for a Super Bowl.
Correct.
But what's interesting is like Jalen Hurts makes more money average annual value than a Patrick Mahomes. So you could say if part of the equation is like, what are you paying your quarterback? Does that factor in? I don't know that it does because like Kirk Cousins to me was not a franchise quarterback. He was a mercenary quarterback.
You're 100% right. Yes.
And I don't know what's the quantifiable difference between a mercenary and I guess if you draft him, then he has a better chance to become a franchise quarterback.
But Mahomes has been willing to continually tweak his contract as well. Like because of how the salary and salary caps work in football, I don't base my judgment on salary much.
Well, that brings us to two other examples. Tua Tagovailoa. Is he a franchise quarterback?
No.
They paid him to be, but he isn't.
Can't be hurt that much and be a franchise quarterback. Sorry.
So I think this brings us to a new category of like, they're paying him like a franchise quarterback. They drafted him as a franchise quarterback. They desperately want him to be a franchise quarterback. Put Trevor Lawrence in this category. There's probably Kyler Murray, right? Yeah. Like he was drafted to be the franchise quarterback.
Yes, he was.
They're paying him like a franchise quarterback, but those guys aren't as good as the first four, the Mount Rushmore guys. But Kyler Murray has been the longtime pretty good quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Is he not a franchise quarterback?
No. He's
their franchise's quarterback.
Exactly. He is the Cardinals' best starting pitcher. But do I put him in that small category of true aces as far as QBs go? Absolutely not.
Okay, what about Justin Herbert?
No. I like him a lot. He's not a franchise quarterback.
What would make him a franchise quarterback?
Well, first of all,
a playoff game. I
guess.
And
playoff games, like just to back up for a second and put this in context. Okay, Joe Burrow a year ago, last season, was on a Bengals team. The defense was putrid, absolutely awful, and he willed them to victories by himself, but with offensive talent. But I mean, it was him, and so that to me is a franchise QB. And by the way, so far, Dex and I have disagreed on one guy. So I do think
I'm more in camp Dex with Hurts.
Yeah. Which is fine, but what I'm saying is that's
kind
one
of minimizing. He's been in 2 Super Bowls as one of the driving forces. And it's almost like we're punishing him because the Eagles front office is so good at drafting.
He would not be in my S tier. That's just what I'm saying. The S tier.
Well, I don't know if I have him in my S tier, but I have him in my
tier.
Yeah. In my A tier or
in
my franchise tier. Yeah, F tier, I guess.
My definition in how I think about it when you say franchise, like not who do you want to be or who is good, but like those truly elite franchise top tier Hall of Fame guys, Hurts is where I sort of draw the line. But my point was that was only one guy. So far, I think we've agreed on everybody else.
Okay. Jock Jones says, is Judd trying to change the question again?
I'm not in this case.
We do have some feedback on the Monday exercise too here, but just a couple other names because this is, because part of this is what's the definition for JJ McCarthy to aspire to be here? How does JJ McCarthy become a franchise quarterback?
Sure.
I think I do think Dante Culpepper was a franchise. He was the Viking. There's kind of two different. Is he your franchise quarterback who aspires to be a franchise quarterback?
Yep.
Relative to the league. And Dante at one point was second in MVP voting, emerging into his prime.
2004. That guy.
He was headed there, and then the knee got wiped out and whatever. Yep. But two other names that they weren't drafted by the team that they're on right now, but one of them threw 41 touchdowns and had a 107 passer rating. Baker Mayfield, and he's helped them win a playoff game. And Matthew Stafford, who was brought in as a mercenary. Is Matthew Stafford a franchise? He was a franchise quarterback or thereabouts with the Lions.
He for sure was.
Because he was one of the top like 6 or 7 quarterbacks elevating a horrible franchise.
Yeah.
How would you classify him with the Rams?
On Baker, I would say he's had a great turnaround. I would not classify him as a franchise QB. So he would not. He's done really well, and the Browns, I'm shocked by this, screwed the pooch there. But I would not put him in the franchise category. Stafford, I'd be much more tempted to. Stafford has the skill set of a franchise QB.
But Jalen Hurts doesn't?
I guess I could be swayed on Hurts.
This is where it gets kind of gray.
This is where it gets a little bit gray. But again, we're at very few names here. Like it's not like I'm debating like 7 guys.
So I think the best way to answer this is, it is kind of like baseball, that we need to limit the amount of franchise quarterbacks, and it's franchise, not like, hey, the Dolphins have a quarterback that they hope is awesome.
Correct.
Like, I get he's your franchise quarterback hopeful. It is relative to the league, and there's a small handful of them, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, depending on the definition. And then there's like a waiting room to get into the franchise VIP section or something. Yeah.
Yep.
Where you're like, Drake May is hoping to get into that waiting room, and maybe Baker Mayfield with Tampa Bay is like, all right, you got to be settled into Tampa for a couple more years and keep doing this. Right?
Yep. What did Delta do with their main cabin now? Like, I forget, they've now changed all their tiers. Like those guys you're talking about, Phil, don't have seat assignments yet, but they're going to be on the plane. Yeah. You know, like,
and they can't cancel.
They can't cancel. It's non-refundable.
Yeah.
But they're going to be on the plane ride, but they're going to be sitting, 33F in the back of the plane.
Yeah. Oh my God, didn't even know about this. I did think so. One where I've been
hasn't
wrong.
flown since the 80s.
No, I haven't flown since the pandemic, and I'm very happy not flying right now. So the one guy that I thought was going to be a franchise QB by now easily was Herbert. I really thought that.
He's got the skills,
but I can't call him that.
Yeah, I think there's something to do with, playoff and team success that kind of factors in here too. So, but it's a very subjective kind of gray area exercise. Okay, Cody Anderson says, love the show, and you guys provide some great Vikings content I listen to every day. However, on Monday's Purple Daily, you should have stopped Judd immediately at the beginning and when you heard the word important come out of his mouth, and not let the episode continue, as he completely butchered the point of the top 20 rankings exercise.
Okay.
He Juddified it. He took it over and muddled the difference between top and most important Vikings.
Yep.
Can I, on behalf of the entire Purple Daily faithful, request a redo episode of the actual top Vikings list headed into the season? Maybe I can do that.
Absolutely not.
I mean, it's not like we have some time in the next month.
But I've got precedent. I'll explain.
So Judd decided to zig instead of giving the people the zag that we wanted.
Okay. So the precedent, though, is this. And number one, yes, I named JJ McCarthy the second best Vikings player, which is an extremely hot take. But here's the precedent. And we talked about this on Monday. Andrew Van Ginkel had more experience going into your list a year ago, but he was coming off a Liz Frank fracture of his foot, okay? So there was no guarantee. And I'm not debating you, Phil, but you used best with projection of, I think this guy's going to be incredibly important. And I think you put him 6th, which was extremely high. I mean, Declan and I, or 5th. And Declan and I were both like, whoa.
I was flabbergasted.
Well, and I was surprised too. But my point is
you were wrong, is what you were.
And you know what? Yeah. So that set the precedent for the fact that it is best with projection. And I am projecting. And if I'm wrong, I will come back and say, like I do every Wednesday, man, I was wrong. I was wrong. We're wrong.
Wrong.
So that's where I think that there is a precedent.
Austin says you did 100% change the topic of Monday's episode, but other people are saying that Cameron says he supports Judd.
Right, but I used
endeavor.
But you did the first one. I believe that was the first Purple Daily ever. 20 best Vikings.
Actually, I think you had done it the previous year, and I have no idea. We'd have to go back.
I dropped
and look.
Kirk
See.
probably low just because I was being an ass.
So yeah, it's I used projection. You're right. Now I used projection of a guy who had been in the league for 5 years before getting to the Vikings and had played in the Flores defense with some success. So I had a little more meat on the bone to project it.
Right.
But it was deemed a hot take by you guys and the audience. Like, Mackey's got Van Ginkel 5th, correctly, as it turned out. Now, I think I know we did it the year before because I remember putting Cam Dantzler like 9th the year before.
Okay.
Which was
I'm just saying projection
exactly
plays a role here, and I think McCarthy is going to be damn good.
Yeah. It was like a super hot take baked into the top 20. So
yep.
Yeah, I think if there was a pie chart of like what happened on Monday, I do think there's a percentage of the pie of Juddifying it and turning it into his own, instead of just answering the question, loves to come up with a different version of the question than answer that.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
but it did make for an entertaining episode.
I will say this, full disclosure, like 20 best sort of bored me too.
It didn't bore the people a year ago when I put Van Ginkel 5th.
It's like
correctly.
It's like, am I supposed to, like, okay, here's the 24 season. Here are the 20 best Vikings. I mean, technically, I could have left McCarthy off the list entirely, and I would have been curious what the reaction was then. Like, if I just said, you know what, hasn't played, I will not put a guy who hasn't started a game on.
Yeah.
Which would be a very old man thing.
That's what I thought you were going to do. You surprised us all.
I'm high on JJ. I trust O'Connell.
Hey, listen, if you guys have anything else you'd like us to rank, let us know in the next month. We got 3 of them on Monday, and I started doing this last night.
Yep.
On Monday, we're doing the all quarter century Vikings team.
Okay. Are we all going to bring our ideas to the table and meld them together?
So, a couple parameters on this.
Okay.
So we're going to go off of the ESPN. So ESPN did their all quarter century 53-man roster for the league. So production from 2000 to 2025. Mm-hmm. And they had, you want to write this down?
Yep.
They had 25 on offense, 23 on defense, and 5 special teamers. And more specifically, they had 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, a fullback, 6 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, and 9 offensive linemen on offense.
Okay.
So we're gonna follow that to start with, and then kind of work our way from there. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 10.
The guards outside
currently.
of Steve Hutchinson.
That's
a bit of an exercise.
It's gonna be fun.
I think so. I would propose that we are allowed to alter the numbers on the positions a bit.
We can discuss. Yeah.
Because if we don't think that there's 3 QBs from 2020 to 25, if we don't think that there's 3
QBs
that fit that,
that's a take.
3 quarterbacks. By far.
I would argue there's 5 quarterbacks in question here.
Are you're not thinking the 3 QBs? You're not thinking that one of them wore 8, are you?
Yes.
2 of them wore 8.
100%.
Right?
One wore 11.
You
one wore
hold on.
4.
Let's you know what? Let's tease this now. You right now don't have Kirk Cousins, one of the 3 quarterbacks on your list.
No, I didn't put him on
That
my
is
list.
preposterous.
I will not put him on my list either.
There's another quarterback who wore 8 also that you're drastically disrespecting, who came in like a bolt of lightning and led the NFL in completion percentage off his couch, basically.
He's not on my list either.
Wow.
This is great because right now I'm teasing. This is going to turn into a fight. This is going to be a cage match on Monday. I didn't see this coming, but it's going to be a cage match. But I like the numbers offensively and defensively. I do say because yes, at left guard behind Hutch, Ezra Cleveland's like it's awful.
We'll
Anthony
save
Herrera.
it for Monday.
Yeah,
We'll save it
but
for
we're
Monday.
going to fight about this because I got some and I'm not putting every quarterback that walked in that door. I'm not putting every quarterback that walked in that door on my list.
Just so you guys know, I have 6 quarterbacks on my big board to fill 3 slots.
Sweet. Oh my God.
Multiple who wore number 8.
Oh
We'll just leave it there.
Brad. Oh
Before we get to the rest of Feedback Friday here, a shout out to Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. The takes are heating up.
Yeah,
They are.
Turn on that AC. Damn
The HVAC system is working on this Feedback Friday right now. Make sure everything is ship shape there. It is a kerfuffle. Thank you, Mike. But at Standard Heating, they make sure everything is ship shape with that HVAC system. You don't want to DIY. Don't try to figure this out on your own. Let the experts handle it for you. Plus, it's a little cooler now, right? You want to make sure everything is working appropriately with that air conditioning the next time it gets a little hotter. So call Standard Heating. You can contact them any way, whether that's via phone, text, email. They make that easier for you. So go to standardheating.com and tell them that Purple Daily sent you.
Federated Insurance is also here powering the feedback today. And coming up in a few weeks is the 21st annual Federated Challenge supporting Big Brothers and Big Sisters, hosted by Federated Insurance. It's a 2-day gala. And over the last 20 years, this gala has raised almost $60 million for youth mentoring. So, and by the way, 100% of that money goes directly to Big Brothers, Big Sisters and the Federated Challenge Scholarship Program. So it goes to great causes. And this year's Federated Challenge Gala is on July 27th, St. Paul River Center, and then golf at Hazeltine the next day. Visit federatedchallenge.org to become a sponsor. And it's fireworks season, not just on this show with our takes and debates, but 4th of July coming up here, Dex.
Yeah, at Fireworks Forever, it's more boom for less bucks, which I think is a similar feel right now. On Purple Daily and for next Monday's show. So more boom for less bucks. It's a family-owned and locally operated store. They have 2 locations in Somerset, Wisconsin and St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. Friendly, knowledgeable staff. Actual pyrotechnics are on staff to help answer any questions that you may have. Plus, when you're looking at the aisles and you're seeing a firework and you have no idea what it does, you can just scan a QR code and it'll tell you what it does. So go to fireworksforever.com for coupons and the latest pricing. Go check out Fireworks Forever. More boom for less bucks.
Let's go back to the feedback here. Let's see here. We got Cody. I think we've only done 2 so far. It's kind of crazy. Okay. Aaron Bialki says, thanks for making the doldrums of the offseason enjoyable. I was rewatching the highlights of the 2019 season, and an announcer said he was so impressed with the running back combination of Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison, who ended up being top 5 in terms of rushing duo that year. Do you think the current running back duo could be better than peak Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison?
Yeah. Duo, yes, absolutely, 100%.
Peak Cook is better than either one of these guys.
Exactly.
Though.
I was just going to say that, but the question is, because I don't like to change questions. The question is, do I think that the duo can be absolutely peak Dalvin Cook?
Do I think they could be better at catching passes? Let's discuss that part of the. Yeah. Let's discuss that angle.
There was that great Moneyball meme, which could tease for later, of when Alexander Mattison finally was the starter. And they're like, Billy, this is Alexander Mattison. He has been a great handcuff when Dalvin Cook is out. His only weakness is he's really not that good. You know, like that was, at the end of the day, that he's really just not that good.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I remember he was getting drafted like 2nd round in fantasy leagues too, because people thought, oh, man, he's going to take over. He's going to run for 1,200 yards and he scored some touchdowns. He scored like 1 touchdown. So, okay, this next one comes from Gabriel and Addison via snail mail here.
Oh, wow.
From Idaho.
Okay.
If I could open this up here I don't want to show their
to your
necessarily.
To your mailbox at Hubbard?
Yep. They sent it into the Score North studios.
Okay.
Where we're hoping to get Judd back in there for a time or 2 this summer. Scope out the digs. But Gabriel and Addison invite you to the celebration of their marriage. It's actually tomorrow. So I got to be honest, I don't check the Score North mail as often as I should. So we missed our June 1st RSVP date for this.
Oh, geez.
It's also in Idaho, so it's going to be kind of tough now
tough flight
to get out there.
I don't feel as bad.
But, and I won't say exactly where this is, but a semi-formal cocktail attire is requested, dinner and dance following the ceremony. So we could have got Judd out on the dance floor. But congrats to Gabriel and Addison, and we appreciate you inviting us to your wedding. We're not going to be able to make it.
It does require a gift, though. Like, once you get
Wait,
that,
I think there's a registry on here.
you really should send a gift, Phil.
Let's see
Expensive.
here. Is there a registry on
There'll be no problem.
I bet we could. There's got to be a. Oh yeah, there is. There is a registry on here for Judd to get. Let me see. You know what? Ross has like a. We have sent some gifts before, and I know Ross has like put a couple cool things together that we'll check with our guy Ross Brendel and see what we. But Gabriel and Addison,
Yeah.
congratulations!
Many
on
happy years.
Any advice for young Gabriel and Addison here, Judd?
Patience. Just be patient. Just be patient. Rocky times, great times. Patience is the key. It's like a baseball season. Highs and lows, but you got to just go with them. That's my advice.
I love when people put out like the social media posts, like it's their anniversary, it's our 20th anniversary, and there's been so many ups and so many downs, and I always think like I want to know what the downs.
What were the
are.
downs?
Yep.
I want to know specifically, like what have you been arguing about?
You know what?
I could probably tell them.
What gets on your nerves?
I probably
after?
know.
I think I've said this on the show before, and I think I've said it to you guys too, just off mic. I don't believe you marry your best friend, personally. Like I cringe kind of sometimes when I hear that, because I do have best friends. I have best friends, but like I love my wife dearly.
But you don't
I wouldn't
put her in,
classify her as my best friend.
If you had like a Mount Rushmore of friends, you wouldn't put her in the 4?
I don't know. I don't think I would.
Wow.
Well, at your age, Dex, I used to think the exact same thing. I will say, as the years go on and you've got to be good friends. Like that doesn't mean
you're probably gonna have fewer friends in like 10 or 15 years. I would say like John has been S tier friend and wife we just like enjoy hanging out with each other on that level too. And also I just like I don't have as many friends as I did 15 years ago.
That's true too.
It's become more of a hermit as you get older.
For 15 more years.
AJ just said he's clipping this comment, so this will come back to not that it's already out there in the public, but this is 100% being clipped for so long.
I agree, but I thought the same thing, but it changes as your life evolves. So I think eventually you will
I'm in trouble.
change this. But yeah, well, it depends. Does she care a lot about that? Like that's I get what you're saying. I used to think the same thing. I said the same thing one time.
Let's keep digging through the snail mail here. It's kind of great. We got more snail mail here, boys, from listeners. This is from.
Phil finally went to his mailbox.
I did. I haven't been in the office in a little bit. So Marty from Lake Elmo. He sent in a big list of dumb football questions for O-line committee, which we'll probably get to this week.
Oh, those are typed out. That's nice.
But he's also included, and he addresses it to Phil Judd, Declan, Jeremiah Searles, and Alex Boone, so all of us. Okay. I've enclosed a summer care package for you to keep and use at your leisure. It's my gift to Score North for all of your outstanding Vikings coverage. Growing up in the 80s, mid-June was the beginning of the dog days of summer for football fans, and aside from an occasional jotting from Sid Hartman, season preview magazines were all we had to slake our football thirst. My favorite was Don Heinrich's Pro Football Review, because he measured each NFL roster with a talent quotient or a TQ rating.
Wow. I don't remember.
Pass these around for your reading pleasure. And man, Marty from Lake Elmo, these are vintage.
Let's see that.
Early 1980s Pro Football Review magazine.
Danny White, who punted as well. Oh, a little sweetness. Walter Payton. That's awesome.
Look at this, by the way, on the back
loved those
of the Walter Payton one from 82 or something, or 83.
Okay.
There's a big full-page ad for ESPN, the Total Sports Network. Sports from all around the world, all around the clock.
Yep. Oh, God, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's before they had... So I believe they started with the National Football League in 88. They started with baseball in 1990. So that's back when, I'll never forget it, my first experience with that glorious channel. My parents and my dad was on his way to do some business in Missouri, and I forget the town. But anyway, we stopped for the night at a hotel, and I flip on the television, NASL Soccer, ESPN. We didn't have cable yet. game changer.
Yeah.
Soccer, Australian rules football, where they point like for points when the officials go like that. It was on all the time. God, it was great. And SportsCenter.
So they were just like literally cobbling together. How can we get 24 hours of programming? Anything
that they could possibly get. In fact, in the book that came out about them, I forget the name, a couple of years ago, there's a thing about how like they would take VHS tapes that would be sent in of I don't know, small college football games and show them and stuff. It's great. Yeah. It was fantastic.
And now here they are. Little did we know that they would be just showing 24 hours of Stephen A. Smith now in 2025.
And now they're punting baseball after 35 years to the sidelines.
For more Stephen A. Smith. Yes. It's Sunday night. Instead of Sunday night baseball, it's 4.5 hours of Stephen A. Smith just yelling at clouds. You know what I think we'll do? Awesome. I think let's carve out some time on Mackey and Judd next week. The OG Mackey and Judd podcast. And let's go through the Pro Football Preview Minnesota Vikings sections.
Sure.
What did they think about the early 80s, some of these Vikings teams?
There was nothing better, too, than around this time of year, back in the day, going to Shinders. And
Shinders.
And the whole sports
Did you go to all the way back corner of Shinders?
Not till later. I did later. The squeaky door. So that they could tell. It was a squeaky door. But anyway.
Ducks for cover.
The sports section, the sports rags and magazines were, and all of the previews, sporting news. And this was before the proliferation of fantasy football stuff. So it was all, just hardcore, ordinarily football stuff. It was great. Athlons, Sport Magazine.
Yeah. I used to buy... baseball cards, you try to go find like little hidden gems. You could buy like wax boxes and stuff. But then, I would go get what's the PSA grading publication that does the Beckett's. You get the annual Beckett magazine, and it would show you the value of any card. It's crazy. Let's see here. Jack Rath chimes in. I know this is kind of random, but whatever happened to KJ Osborne? Seems like he fell off a cliff once he left Minnesota. I feel like he could be a solid option to make a reunion if wide receiver depth is needed. Well, yeah, he went to the Patriots.
They released him during last season, and I don't know if he got picked up or not. It was
So they cut him like in the middle of the...
Yeah, they cut him at some point.
He wound up he played 7 games. Oh, Washington picked him up. He played a game for Washington. He had 7 catches for 57 yards. You know what? No shade or disrespect to KJ Osborne, but this is... The story of KJ Osborne post-Vikings last year tells 2 stories. One, the story of not overpaying for Jag-level talent. He's like an NFL receiver, and he had multiple years of 500-plus yards. But he's a guy that you can find guys like that. You should be drafting guys like that. Ty Felton should turn into that, right? Just like KJ Osborne was kind of a mid-round pick. He was a 5th-round pick. So don't pay for KJ Osborne's and take up salary cap space. But also, Kevin O'Connell, over the course of 2 years, squeezed 108 catches and 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns out of KJ Osborne in that offensive system with a lot of backup quarterbacks in that second year.
Yep.
So, if you have a system that elevates and a coach, number 3, number 4 receivers...
Right.
You let them walk in free agency and they can get paid by somebody else.
Absolutely. And plus here, with the current depth chart roster construction at that position, if you're the 3rd receiver and on the field with the other 2, you ain't going to get anybody covering you.
Yeah. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, so.
If you're okay.
But you're right. Draft them. Take them in like the 5th round. If they turn out awesome, but don't pay them.
I do remember us having a lot of debate with listeners, Feedback Fridays, a year ago, of like, why would you not? You got to bring him back, re-sign him. That's like, it's just not a place to spend money.
Yeah.
But Phil, it's the old thing of, but he's contributing and I like him and he's part of the team.
And that's great. It was a nice little
business,
run.
Though. But you just have to know sometimes you have to move on. It might hurt, but you got to move on.
Yeah. Let's see here. Eric chimes in, says, hey, thanks for the content you provide. It's always fantastic. Just to give you guys a heads up, I'm 46 years old, And Tuesday this past week, I had open heart surgery. Scary stuff.
Ooh.
The last week in the hospital has had plenty of highs and lows. I am healing well and looking forward to being home in the next couple days. The show you put on has helped all week long and has been a definite high, even though I don't remember all of it because of the drugs. Great content. Keep up the awesome job. Skull Vikings just won before I die, from Eric. Man, open heart surgery is
46, you said?
no joke. Yeah, 46 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Whew, that is scary.
Yeah. So yeah, Eric,
Well,
if you're listening
Feel
or
better.
watching, best wishes from us and from the Purple Daily audience. We're wishing you the best, and keep us posted, man. Send us an update. I don't know, whenever you're feeling better or sometime in the next few weeks, and we'll shout you out on the show here. Paul P says, I'm watching the 2009 NFC Championship game. Oh God! Wow.
Tommy Kramer was watching it last night too. He was tweeting about it.
What is wrong with people?
I can't watch that game. I
I did during the pandemic again.
Yeah,
We did
infuriate me.
The rewinds.
So Paul says, I'd love to hear your version of a pie chart of blame for that game, as there seems to be plenty to go around. Don't discount some factors such as the refs, Bountygate, etc. We did this exercise like 2 or 3 years ago, and I think on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, there's a playlist toward the bottom that's like the vault, or if you go through that playlist, I think you'll find this exact pie chart. We did like 45 minutes on it. And it literally was like we dissected who's to blame for the 12 men in the huddle fiasco too. So I don't remember what the pie chart was exactly, but we definitely watched this game back and covered this homepage of the Purple Daily YouTube channel.
Didn't we do an episode with old friend Sage Rosenfels about that game too?
We did.
That
That's
was really
also
intriguing.
Yes. So he was the backup quarterback, and I think in that it's like Purple Daily Rewind section on the homepage all the way at the bottom. And the Sage stuff was from 2019. He came in studio and we did like 2 hours on that season and that game. And he told the stories that he was on the headset on the sideline during that game. And he was talking to Brett Favre in the locker room afterwards and stuff. And so, yeah, it's been a few years, but that content is still available on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. So check it out. And then loyal listener Jeffrey O'Donnell turns 52 years old on Monday.
Happy birthday.
All right.
Jeffrey, happy birthday to you, you old sailor. Appreciate you consuming the show.
Ooh. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. I have some week 2 updates here on Purple Daily.
Week 2?
For the Vikings. There's a big update for week 2 of the Vikings.
Oh, my.
Oh, wow.
Wait a second. Baby boy Goff do week 2 go Vikings.
Oh,
Wait a second.
wow.
Wait a second. We add a third Goff? Wait, is
Congratulations.
the deck man is going to be the first dad on the show?
Oh,
There it is.
Wait, is that your shirt or this medium? Could you fit in that?
that is awesome.
I was going to tell you guys prior,
Congratulations.
but by the way, full disclosure to the audience, these two dudes I've known for a long time.
Well, we didn't know. We've been wondering for like 2 months. Like, when
Yep.
are you going to tell the audience? Actually, I think we knew before the draft party.
Yeah.
And we were wondering, are you going to tell people at the draft party?
Yeah.
But you said, I'll just spring it on you whenever I feel like it.
I felt like it'd be a better. I had a couple different segues how I wanted to go about that because my wife all said, "Is Judd ready to be a sports grandpa?" Because of your sports
That's right,
son
yeah.
having a son, so you're ready
Yeah.
for your sports.
I'm
Yes,
so
yeah,
excited for
absolutely.
Judd. Give Declan and Kelsey at some point a night to go out, get dinner, and little baby
I'm not.
Goff
No,
can
no,
hang
no. I'm
out
not
with
babysitting
the
by
sports
myself.
grandpa.
Well, Don. Can
What if
come,
it was
I
both
guess.
of us? Would you trust both of us?
Yeah,
or no?
I just don't want to be. And by the way, it's awesome. I love
Declan's
kids.
gonna need some Tuesdays off.
I will have
But
Tuesdays off for a little bit.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But anyway, yes, if it was both of us, then I'm fine with it.
Oh,
I
you'd
will-
be fine with it. Would the Goffs be fine with it? Is the
Well, if they
more
trust you
pressing
enough.
question.
If they trust Phil enough,
Wow. Yeah.
I think
this
we'd
is,
probably. I think we'd probably bring the gals though.
Yeah, I think just to make sure
John
that
and
Probably
Don
a good
could.
idea.
8 hands are better than two
Oh
sports
no,
grandpa
they wouldn't
hands.
be our hands, Phil. We'd be out.
I really want to see Judd hold this baby. I really want to
gotta
see
support
Judd
the
hold
head.
baby. Hello.
Heads are. You got to support the head because when kids are born, those necks are wobbly.
Yeah, you gotta
Dude,
have
this is going to be, first of all, people are very happy for you. Jeff Bailey does say, congrats, Declan. Welcome to no sleep
That's
for
right.
the rest of your life.
Well, I wouldn't say it.
Austin says, remember, Dex, we were here for you first. Emily does want Mackie and Judd to babysit.
That could be. You know what? That could be some great social content right there.
Oh, man. So wait a second. So we have just the timing of this. Week 2 is when the baby is due. JJ McCarthy around the same time, right? September?
Yep.
I think it's September. So you and JJ McCarthy are in a race to see who can pump a kid out first.
Yeah.
And then who can perform at their profession too in the lead up to having a child. Wow.
So we're due the 13th. That's the due date. So that's actually that's the Saturday before week 2. But also, the Vikings have the last game of week 1. They had the Monday Night Football game.
Ooh.
So we are in uncharted territory. If I'm having it my way, because this totally works out every single time, and it's totally my call. If this baby could be born like on the 10th or 11th, that'd be really cool. That's all I'm saying. That'd be very ideal.
Well, I mean, you could probably, I don't know enough about, but you could schedule, right?
You can.
Can't you?
Yeah,
you can schedule.
Yep, you can schedule.
Induce, right?
You can induce, yeah. But
Okay.
yeah,
well, maybe we can work with the clinic here and the Vikings to make sure that this doesn't get in the way of a write that down session. Very important a Thursday. These are very important content days.
Yeah. This is all these have been discussed. There actually might be write that downs on my phone.
Latest Vikings news.
I mean, maybe me and JJ McCarthy are next to each other in a different hospital rooms. I don't know where the baby's being. I know where we're having the baby, but I don't know where he's having the baby.
I want to see you guys at conjoined rooms with the little curtain that comes across.
Oh God.
JJ watching film on his little iPad.
Are you sure about this kid though being raised a Vikings fan?
Yes.
I think so now because you got O'Connell.
Because he's being disowned
McCarthy.
if he's a Packers fan.
But what if the kid comes home in first grade and says, you know what? I am a Packers or a Bears fan.
That's going to be a problem.
What if your kid says his first words are Ben Johnson? Ben Johnson. What's that? Ben Johnson.
Mesh routes.
Caleb Williams.
Screen passes.
But yeah, we'll see how all that fun stuff goes. So
Bob Wiley, Mackie is so out of touch with being a parent. Yeah, it's probably accurate.
Well, how would you be?
How
would you be in touch with
me or
being a
Judd?
parent?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how would we be in touch with being a
Oh
parent?
my gosh, I can't put bad dad joke up there. Well, let's just say Adrian Peterson probably won't be babysitting.
Yeah, that's not bad.
little
Dad.
baby golf.
of all the fandoms, if he came home one day and was like, "Hey, Dad, I'm a Yankees fan now," that would not bug me. I wouldn't be that upset if he came home one day and was like, "I'm a Packers, Bears, or Lions fan." That would take some conversation.
If he says for his 5th birthday, all I want for Christmas is a Jordan Love jersey, what happens? Disowned?
It's a lump of coal for Christmas. That's
out
what
of the
happens.
house.
Adoption. Yeah. Sorry.
Hopefully the second one's a Vikings fan. I can tell you that much. Then.
We'll try to send you to a family in Hudson.
Are we assuring a second already? is the wife okay with this?
If the Vegas line was 2.5, are we going over or under long term? The golf futures bet here.
I personally would say under.
Okay.
I'd go under there.
Now
Yeah.
twins you could do like a 2-for-1 kind of situation. Get the twins hit the
Fun
over.
fact: at
BOGO.
the first ultrasound, the first question out of my mouth was, "There's only one in there, right?" That was the first thing I asked.
No, there's 4.
There,
oh my
yeah,
God.
there's
There's
only one in there, right?
The whole offensive line in there.
You never know.
Your wife
I mean,
sucks.
I don't have any history of twins. I don't think my wife does either. But it's still,
Well,
I love babies, but a twin sounds terrifying to me.
if you're gonna have 2, don't forget though, have them close so they can be buddies.
You're getting some name suggestions here.
Yeah.
Sean suggesting JJ. Tom suggesting Brock Herbert Goff.
Yep.
I would
Brock.
say
we
maybe
don't,
like
we don't
how
need
about
more Brocks.
John David or like David Booty Goff,
David Booty Goff.
something like that.
How about Christian Pondergoff?
Oh God, no. That's a reach. That's a reach of a. I don't want to. Don't want to
Don't wanna do that.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. Well, congrats to
Yeah,
Dex.
that's awesome, dude.
Old Dex tweets. We're gonna have a lot of Declan and JJ McCarthy parent fodder here over the coming months. We can do weekly check-ins on how they're doing in September, October. So, well, are you going to celebrate with a Northern Soda? What flavor of Northern Soda are you going to celebrate with?
You know what? Screw it. Let's crack this guy open,
wow.
huh?
Oh boy,
It's going to
Sunday
crack that
purple.
thing right now. Let's go, dude. Let's party.
God, that's delicious. I love grape soda. You can find Northern Soda in a lot of different grocery stores. You can find them in Kowalski's, Byerly's, Cub Foods. Plus, they have their own tap room in New Brighton. You can go check out. They have 10 handcrafted sodas on tap. The mocktails, dirty sodas too, over 40 flavors in a can. Go check out Northern Soda. Tell them that Purple Daily sent you at that tap room, and you'll get a free pint of soda. So go check out Northern Soda, whether it's in a grocery store or at their tap house in New Brighton.
How about wide left Goff?
Wow. Really tapping into Vikings history.
Yeah, the crib's just a little wobbly to the left. It's just the legs a little in on the left.
Yep.
How about Neos Elite Goff, Judd? What about that? Neos Elite.
You know what? So years and years from now, when Declan's son is getting up there in age, like Sports Dad is, and let's say he loved to golf, but now he can't golf because he's sore, I'm going to recommend to him, as he watches the best of his dad, that he go to Neos Elite Performance, because they're going to help you with the chronic pain that is holding you back, keeping you off the basketball court perhaps, or the golf course, because it is cutting-edge regenerative medicine, cellular IV therapy designed to get you going again without invasive procedures. They call it white glove service. Means no trips to the doctor's office. It means that the team at Neos is going to come to you and help you get back to doing what you love, make you feel great again. Just reference Purple Daily, get $500 off a cellular IV therapy treatment. No surgery, no downtime, just results from a lot of people who are very good at what they do. NeosElite.com, Neos Elite.com is where your journey to feeling great starts.
It is time for the snake draft of the week. Could we, for a future episode, snake draft baby names?
Sure.
Could we do that for a future episode?
Good, yeah.
Now, maybe Declan would have to sit out and AJ comes in, because they might even have a name. Do you have a name?
We have a name.
A pool of names?
We have a favorite for sure. We are keeping that close to the vest.
Okay.
But
so you could sit out and we could do an exercise, and then you could.
We have a favorite, but I like, for example, I was supposed to be Seamus, and then I entered the world, and my mom said that's a Declan. So I've kind of had the same philosophy when this baby's born. Of I'm going to look at him, and if he's you are blank.
That's
then
a
we're all
Bob.
good.
No,
That's
Exactly.
That's a Frank
interesting.
right there.
Oh.
Okay.
So, one of Declan's favorite things besides Purple Daily and football is baseball. He covers the Twins, Score North Twin Show, and we have yet to do, in a year's worth of snake drafts, we've yet to do baseball movies. It's summertime. We got, we got baseball, basically the only active sport right now in the mainstream. So we're going to draft baseball movies here. What was the result of last week's snake draft, and what are some of the current stats?
So Andy Pettit took home again a victory. He is 6 for 10 in snake drafts, man.
Way to go,
Bet
Andy.
600. He won with a 53.8% win on Best Grad Party Foods. Phil was runner-up. Judd finished last. Taking a look here, runner-up finishes overall. I have the most second-place finishes at 19. Both of you have 14.5 runner-up finishes. You both tied one time. Last place finishes. Judd has the most last place finishes, but he also has the most wins. Phil with 16.5 last place finishes. Me with 14. Bill, you're batting 16 for 47. Judd, you are 19 for 52, but I will say have not won in almost a month.
Wow,
Yeah, because I was on a heater
dude.
before that. It's been like 3 weeks. Yeah,
You
I was
won-
on a heater.
You won every snake draft, I believe, in May, and then you have not won since.
Just like the Twins.
Yeah, you're the Twins.
I'm the Twins of snake drafts.
Yep. So Judd hitting 365, Phil 340. I'm hitting 233. But yeah, those are some of the snake drafts here.
And last week, just to be clear, I was so far out of my lane, it wasn't even funny.
Grad Party Foods.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But I think you're back in your lane here for baseball.
Much more so.
baseball
more so.
movies.
Much.
And for behind-the-scenes timing purposes, because we have a Royce Unchained in like 20 minutes and something else to record too. If we could get this done in 6 minutes or less,
all right,
do we think we can do that? 6 minutes or less here for this? All right. So it's going to go Judd, Dex, me, and then the wraparound me, Dex, Judd, and then Judd, Dex, Phil. 3-round baseball movie snake draft. Judd, you are on the clock.
Bull Durham.
Okay.
Number 1. Bull Durham.
A cult classic. That's is it cult
I
classic or more of a mainstream?
I think it's more mainstream
classic.
I think it's more mainstream, but love that movie.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good baseball movie. I don't know that it would have been my number 1 pick. It might resonate with the audience as the number 1 pick. We'll see how this goes here. Dex is on the clock now with the number 2 pick.
I know this will probably maybe not on top of your guys' big board, but it's still my favorite baseball movie of all time. So give me The Sandlot.
Yep, that's a great one. That was in my top list as well.
The rare sort of kids targeted movie that breaks through as an adult favorite too, right? Yeah, great
Oh,
soundtrack too.
great soundtrack. Yeah, the 4th of July scene makes you feel great.
The dog
makes you feel great, and then then they start puking all over the place. But I digress here. I'll take Major League with the 3rd overall pick.
All solid picks.
Just rallying together against
couldn't go wrong.
Rotten owner. Man, this is where it gets tough. I'm back on the clock here with the 4th overall pick. I'm trying to decide if I stay true to my big board here or if I get kind of squirrely. I love A League of Their Own. I think it's a fantastic baseball movie. Tom Hanks at his peak in the 90s.
I haven't watched it in a while.
Gina Davis. Madonna. Oh, Rosie O'Donnell in that movie.
It's Madonna's friend.
So I'm going to take A League of Their Own with my next pick.
Saw it in the theater. Great movie. Agreed.
It puts Dex back on the clock.
I'm between 2, and I'm guessing Judd will take one of the 2 that I don't pick. I'm between 2 of them. I think I will stay true, though, to the Minnesota roots. So, give me Little Big League.
Yeah.
Give me Little Big League.
Okay.
And Judd, have you not seen? No, you saw that. We did that for.
We reviewed it.
Yep.
Okay.
It's cute. It's good. Not great, but very cute.
It's cute.
Yeah. I think the first round here was outstanding, boys. So back to me.
Yep.
Yeah, you get back-to-back picks here to end the 2nd round and to start the 3rd.
Okay. Bad News Bears, the original.
Classic.
Old school, but a classic.
Yep.
Walter
Matthau.
Tatum O'Neal, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And then
this is your last pick here.
Yeah,
Bull Durham, Bad News Bears.
Okay, I am going to go with The Natural.
Okay.
Redford, a little bit old school, not as old school as, but I will tell you, I red marked Field of Dreams. No chance from me.
It's wow. So it's not on your big board.
It's fine, but it's so
Can't
over
stand
the
it.
top schmaltzy.
Can't stand it.
It's so over the top schmaltzy. And Costner, who had just been so good, Bull Durham is a classic, right? Costner, and then he becomes the whole, yeah. I mean, I get what the story's about, but it'd be so schmaltzy.
I don't know if it'd be the top 3, but it's in my overrated movie bin easily. It's not.
I'm with you.
I agree. Like I don't think I despise it to the level that you guys do. And Dex is back. We have 2 picks left. Sounds like Field of Dreams is about to go undrafted. But I don't think it's one of the 2 best Kevin Costner baseball movies.
Which is saying a lot because your other one I don't like that much.
Clear the Mechanism.
Yes, and it's better. If nothing else, Vin Scully doing play-by-play.
That's right. All right, Dex.
All right. I'll take Moneyball. I'll take a recent movie. I'll take Moneyball.
Damn, good pick.
Yeah, I was gonna go Moneyball or Little Big League here, and they're both gone. So, all right. So here are the movies that are on my big board because I have the last pick here. Field of Dreams, but it's like pretty low. Major League 2.
Could go both.
Rube Baker with his
solid
throwing yips. Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck.
Yes.
Disgruntled American player
it's
going to
funny.
Japan. It's pretty good.
Pretty funny.
I did not like it.
Rookie of the Year with the 2nd grade kid with the bionic arm.
I almost took that over Little Big League.
And then For Love of the Game, which is the 2nd best.
I feel like that's your pick. I feel like if you don't pick that, you have died on that hill a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take for love of the game here. We're gonna draw a line in the sand here on Kevin Costner baseball movies. So for love of the game,
Wow, Field of Dreams going undrafted. I thought that was a hot take from me, but
it's gonna be
the whole show
Don't care
agrees.
for that film.
So the results here:
catch?
Judd winds up with
No.
Bull Durham, Bad News Bears, and The Natural. Dex winds up with The Sandlot, Little Big League, and Moneyball. And then I wind up with Major League, A League of Their Own, and For Love of the Game. The voting will be on the Score North Twitter or X account in the next, 30 or 60 minutes. You can vote.
Just very quickly, Field of Dreams. Part of the problem was I thought at that time that was outside of Costner's range. Bull Durham, he's great. For Love of the Game, he's actually really good. But in like 89 or so, acting-wise, I didn't think he was great.
That's a take.
I thought he was he played the role so heavy.
It was kind of heavy. He was also like trying to reconnect with his dead father.
Yeah, well,
so there
and,
was like some heavy, and they were about to go bankrupt. And
hey,
stuff.
Dad, you want to have a catch? That's one of the most overrated things that I've. Every man cries. Well, I didn't, and I cried a lot.
I cried a lot too.
I cried a ton of films.
Mm-hmm.
Angels in the Outfield.
No,
Yep.
Fever Pitch.
Oh God! Hey! I love the Pepsi.
I can't.
God, I can't
I like-
stand him.
Trouble
I actually
with the
didn't
Curve.
mind that film, and now that I know more about Fallon, I can't stand.
Yeah,
it.
I can't. Oh God, he's just awful.
We
Trouble
did
with the
review
Curve
that
was
movie.
cute.
Mackie and Judd movie reviews, Apple, Spotify. We did do Fever Pitch at one point, so you can check that out.
I hope I ripped it. I don't.
I think you
remember
did. I think we all kind of ripped it.
But what about the Red Sox? We got a season ticket drawing. And then Drew Barrymore jumping from the top. She would have broken both her legs.
That would have been a funnier ending, right? Like she has two compound fractures, bleeding out.
Like
on
her
the
legs
warning
would have
track.
gone up through her torso.
It would have been bad. So, all right, there's your snake draft and a little breaking show news. Another member of the
Congratulations,
the Goff
Declan
family.
Goff. That's the big story today.
Declan's going to put that Smedium baby shirt on for Monday's.
Congratulations to you and
potentially
Kelsey.
contentious episode. Yeah.
Or Kelsey and Declan, I'll say.
Awesome news
Congratulations
for the Goffs. Excited for sports grandpa and myself to babysit at some point. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for a Saturday check down here. Purple Daily. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. See ya.